This is the Texas STAAR 2013 geometry test, and this is question number 14. It says the equation of a line containing one leg of a right triangle is y equals negative 4x. Which of the following equations could represent the line containing the other leg of this triangle? Okay, let's try to understand this problem. I'm talking about lines, and I've got equations for lines. Sounds more like algebra. But I'm talking about a right triangle, and specifically I'm talking about the legs of the right triangle. I've got the equation for one leg, and I want to know which one of these could be the other leg. Okay, so I think I understand the problem pretty well. I don't remember which ones are the legs on a right triangle, so you know what? Maybe my plan will be to draw a right triangle, try to remember that, and then see where I can go from there. So let's draw my right triangle. And now that I've drawn it, I remember the hypotenuse is the long one, and the other two are the legs. What do I know about the legs, though? They're shorter than the hypotenuse. It's not really going to help me. Oh, that's right. The legs are perpendicular. And, I know how to figure out if two lines are perpendicular. I can do that by looking at the slope. Okay. So I went ahead and drew my right triangle. That was my plan. And now I'm going to go ahead and look at the slope of these lines. Okay, so my original line here, what's the slope of that? Well, it's the coefficient on the x, so the slope of that line is negative 4. And the slope of a perpendicular line would be the opposite reciprocal. So I'm going to flip that over. 4 over 1 will become 1 over 4. And it was negative before, so now it's going to be positive. So I know a slope of a perpendicular to my first leg should be 1 over 4. So that would be choice G. How could I check it? So I went ahead and did it. Now I'm going to check it. Well, I could go ahead and graph those two lines. Y equals positive 1/4 x plus 2, and y equals negative 4x. I could go ahead and graph those two. Now, if you're probably using a TI, you got to be careful with your zoom on the TI. You want to press the zoom key, and then you want to use Z square, because sometimes the zooms will stretch the x-axis, and that'll make it very hard for you to determine if things look perpendicular or not. So you want to make sure you're using Z square for your zoom. That makes all the little units the same length on the x and the y-axis. So here I've got my graph here of the two lines, and you can kind of clearly see that they are perpendicular. So I'll stick with my answer choice of G. There you go.